Imagine a live broadcast, right? A presenter is standing there interacting with this massive, like 3D hurricane graphic on stage.
Oh, yeah, the classic weather map setup.
Exactly. But if the camera pans and that virtual storm lags by even 1 microsecond, the whole illusion just shatters.
It totally breaks the magic.
Right. So, welcome to the deep dive. Today we are decoding the exact hardware that prevents that kind of disaster. We're looking at the Bolin Technology R9-420FW fast HEVC 4K PTZ camera.
Yeah, and at $4,195, looking at its raw technical spec sheet is honestly kind of like reading a dense recipe in a foreign language.
I bet. It looks super daunting at first glance.
It really is. But once you start translating those underlying ingredients, you realize you're basically looking at the ultimate bridge between physical reality and modern virtual production.
So let's actually break down those ingredients, starting with how this thing pulls in the physical world.
Right, the optics.
Yeah, the foundation here is this 1/2.8-inch Sony Starvis eye sensor, and it's pushing an 8.29 megapixel 4K resolution image through a 20x optical zoom.
Which is a lot of numbers, I know. But what makes that Starvis sensor so critical isn't just the raw resolution, it's really about the light gathering.
Oh, like extreme low light performance.
Exactly. It can drop down to 0.1 lux in black and white. I mean, it essentially sees in near total darkness.
Wait, really? Just 0.1 lux?
And it maximizes the photon capture on those individual pixels, so it draws out actual detail in spaces where standard broadcast cameras would just see pure noise.
Wow. Okay, so you pair that with the electronic image stabilization plus the onboard AI-powered facial analytics, and it kind of acts like a robotic hawk.
A robotic hawk, I like that.
Yeah, like the Starvis sensor is the dilated retina letting in maximum light, right?
Right.
While the AI engine acts as the optic nerve. It's constantly recalculating the room's geometry so the physical motors can literally lock onto a moving face.
That is a great way to put it. That AI autofocus and auto exposure engine is continuously doing the math in really complex lighting environments.
So it's mapping the face dynamically.
Right, which means a human operator doesn't have to sit there and guess or manually pull focus on the fly. The camera just handles it.
Okay, but it's one thing for the camera to perfectly see the subject in the dark. If the camera physically moves, that virtual background we talked about earlier has to move with it instantly.
Right, the spatial synchronization.
Yeah, so how does it pass that spatial math to a rendering engine without lagging?
Well, that brings us to the Freed protocol. Freed continuously pumps out the camera's exact axis data, so the specific pan, tilt, and zoom geometry.
And it feeds that directly into the third-party rendering software.
Exactly. And because it integrates with this ultra-low latency AV over IP streaming, the virtual graphics shift in perfect synchronization with the physical lens.
Let me ask a clarifying question here. Is this Freed protocol exactly the kind of tracking tech that allows those live weather presenters to just seamlessly walk around and interact with 3D storm graphics on a broadcast stage?
Yes, precisely. Freed is effectively stripping away the need to plaster physical tracking markers all over your broadcast studio.
So the camera just acts as its own spatial anchor.
You hit the nail on the head. It brings the tracking infrastructure entirely internal, and without those external markers, your setup time just plummets. Plus, the augmented or virtual reality overlays remain utterly believable in real time.
That's incredible. But to instantly power those real-time virtual environments, I mean, this camera has to route huge amounts of data simultaneously.
Oh, massive amounts, which relies on its true dual output capability. We are talking HDMI 2.0, dual 12G SDI, optical SDI, and IP streams all firing at the exact same time.
Wait, all of them at once?
Yep. The specific workflow advantage here is that true dual output allows a broadcast team to send a zero-latency 12G SDI feed straight to the in-house director,
while simultaneously pushing an HEVC IP stream to a remote rendering engine on the other side of the world.
Exactly. You are entirely bypassing the need for a separate distribution amplifier.
That is wild. Yeah. But you know what genuinely surprises me in this workflow? The audio integration.
Yeah, the audio inputs.
Right. I mean, PTZ cameras usually treat audio as a total afterthought.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
They might throw in like a flimsy line-in jack if you're lucky.
Usually, yeah. It's barely functional.
But this unit has professional balanced XLR audio inputs with 48-volt phantom power plus a 3.5 millimeter intercom port. That's a huge deal,
It really is. Driving 48-volt phantom power directly into the camera totally changes the post-production pipeline.
because you don't have to sync it later.
Exactly. It locks high-fidelity audio directly to the video right at the point of capture. That completely eliminates audio sync drift later on. The camera literally operates as its own professional audio hub.
So if you're building out a modern studio, this fundamentally changes your entire hardware footprint.
Oh, absolutely. You bundle top-tier audio, true dual video outputs, and precision spatial tracking into one single unit.
It's an all-in-one powerhouse.
Yeah, it completely lowers the barrier to entry for world-class immersive broadcasting. The media you consume is inevitably shifting toward a seamless blend of physical and digital spaces.
And this hardware is now doing the heavy lifting to actually make that possible.
Exactly.
Which honestly leaves us with a pretty wild question for you to think about.
Oh.
Yeah, think back to our recipe metaphor from earlier. If a single camera can use AI to perfectly expose a face, physically stabilize the shot, and mathematically map its own movements into a 3D virtual environment entirely without a human operator, well, what does the future hold for the human art of cinematography?
That is a very good question.
Right. Will the chef soon be replaced by the kitchen itself? Something for you to ponder.